knockout is a majority draw.
Back again for another one, and today's video we are talking about Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Robbery, baby. Let's get into today's video. Now, this was a very, very interesting fight. I said, you know, I didn't like Miller. I wanted Ruiz to win. I did really want Ruiz to win, but Miller's kind of won me over, annoyingly. He's won me over through his performance and some of his interviews leading up to this fight. Ruiz, he's kind of not lost a fan of me, but I'm just a bit like, I'm done with Andy now. Like, he's such wasted potential. It's very evident from this fight that he does not train hard enough. Like, in terms of his cardio, he just doesn't train hard enough. I know he suffered the injury, like quite a serious injury, like broke his hand in the 5th round, but you can, it's the cardio is the biggest thing with him. First round, in fact, Ruiz hit Miller with a good left hook and was hitting with those fast hands and big, powerful hooks, as we knew that Ruiz could do. But with Miller, he ate those shots and just kept coming forward. On the first round, Miller was on the back foot, which we haven't seen him do much. So that was a very, very interesting thing to see. It's not his style, and you see it just wasn't really suiting him very well. But Miller then started to come into the fight and realize, oh, I can actually take some of your shots. And you're tiring a little bit, and was going to Ruiz's body very, very often. And you could see it was taking the steam out of Ruiz. And it showed the different fitness levels, even though Miller is the heavier fighter and the bigger fighter. Ruiz's fitness level was just not there. He was gassing from I think it was round 3 or 4, you started to see Ruiz could not keep up with that constant pressure. With Miller, we knew that one big shot was not going to get it done in terms of Ruiz's power anyway, and especially because Miller's very good at smothering your work, and Ruiz was not moving back. He didn't have the footwork to get himself out and actually set up those big shots. Miller, I did say this in my last video, he covers up very, very well. He's got quite an underrated defense in terms of how he covers up, and he was doing very, very well to just smother Ruiz. Ruiz was trying to push him off, which then tired him out even more. So rather than stepping back or using his footwork to get out and change angle, which I know it's easier said than done, he was trying to push a big 300-pound man off when you didn't have the fitness to do it, and that just tired him out even more. Miller did some really good dirty boxing in there. He was tying up Ruiz's hands as he came in, getting his hand on top of the glove and then firing the right hand from there. So just tying those hands up, bang, and just firing the right hand right onto the chin is something I noticed him doing in the Dubois fight. It's a very clever way of kind of nullifying your opponent's work, but still making sure you're landing shots. Not necessarily the biggest, most powerful blows, but definitely scoring shots. As the fight went on, Ruiz was trying to kind of rally himself and throw big shots and haymakers, and a couple of them connected with Miller, and Miller just said nope and kept walking forward. And I think that started to definitely take a lot of steam out of Andy's sails. Now, we know that he did get injured he said the 5th round. He has a really bad damage hand. It looks like it's a broken hand. So, you know, you can give him a little bit of leeway there, but there wasn't enough of everything else that was missing. There wasn't enough footwork, there was enough for him throwing jabs, there was enough of him using the left hand to the body, left hand over the top. Like, he was trying to get that one big shot off to put Miller away, and we knew that wasn't going to get it done. But then there wasn't really a plan B. I mean, he did start to win some of the later rounds back, in my opinion, but this fight, for me, was very easy to score. Miller won that fight. Had the forward pressure, he was landing shots on Ruiz, like more or less at will for those mid to late rounds. But somehow, some way, they cheated him. I feel bad for Miller. Like, this, again, it's going to endear more people to him. And it won me around a little bit, because I was like, okay, this guy's being cheated, should I say. The scorecard had Miller winning, and 2 scorecards had it a draw, which I just don't know how you can get to that conclusion. Even Chris Mannix's scorecard, that guy needs to stop scoring fights, because some of the stuff he had on his scorecard, he had it, I think he had Ruiz winning on one of his scorecards. It was just a bit mad to me. Ruiz did not do enough to win that fight or to score a draw. I think that was very easy and comfortable win for Miller. He shouldn't feel too down about it because, like I said, he's going to win a lot of fans around with his performance and how he's kind of conducting himself around this fight. And I feel like this actually propels him, because now it's like, nah, he was cheating, and people will be like, nah, like he's been hard done by. You win more fans. People want to see you in bigger fights. So I think Miller should, you know, kind of not hang his head in shame yet. Maybe he's redeeming himself a little bit. But what's next for Ruiz? I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of his work rate and his kind of effort outside the ring. It's been too many performances now and too many things where every single performance can be blamed on laziness since the Anthony Joshua win. Every single one. The rematch, Areola, actually maybe not Areola because he did lose a lot of weight, but he didn't look great in that fight, looked sloppy. Luis Ortiz looked sloppy. Like, he's not it. I've seen some people being like, oh, this makes AJ's loss age even more terribly. It's like, no, this makes his win, like, it makes it age better, because it shows that Ruiz might have been a bit of Buster Douglas, like a blip in the matrix. It might be a thing where, yes, Ruiz got lucky on that night, but he's not a top 10, a real top 10 fighter. Like, maybe not. I'm not saying that for definite. I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon like that. But I think we need to consider that maybe Ruiz isn't what a lot of people thought he was. So I don't know what's next for Andy Ruiz, but I do think Miller does have a bright future. Now, I think he should get the loser of the AJ Dubois fight. If it's Dubois, great. He gets a rematch, full camp, and gets to prove that that was just a blip in the matrix. If it's AJ that loses, then we already know that that is an absolutely excellent fight. AJ definitely has the option to do that. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense for the loser of that fight. Not the winner. He doesn't deserve a title shot off of that performance, but he definitely deserves the loser, because that's still a massive, massive fight. Both of those. I believe Miller was robbed. It's a massive shame, man. It's just a shame, because during the fight, he won me round during the fight, just in terms of he was so effective and knew what he was doing. You can see this person was trained for this. To make sure that he is trying to be victorious as much as he can. You know, he could have pushed the action a bit more, maybe. He could have tried to, maybe in the last rounds, try and go for a knockout. But it did seem like he's got this fight in the bag. There was no way that that should have been anything other than a Miller win. But, you know, so it goes. Let me know what you thought of the fight in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. See you soon. Peace.